German giant Bayern Munich has placed a midnight deadline on Mr. Harry Kane. Now, reports are that Bayern's offer is more than 100 million euros. So, for all you Brits out there, that's about 86 million and some change pound. Spurs open the season on August 13th, so you're gonna have to think there's gonna be a resolution soon. Apparently, Kane is unwilling to sign a new contract this summer, and his preference is to join Bayern Munich. And then, of course, he's free after next season to do whatever he damn well pleases. But, guys, he's only 48 goals away from breaking the all-time Premier League record. Right? He had 30 goals last year. Do you think that Kane will move to Germany and just forget about the Premier League all-time record?
Yeah. I think he's come to this peace in his mind that if he stayed in England with Spurs, he'd beat the record, and then he'd retire, and he'd be known as Harry Kane, all-time leading goal scorer who never won anything. And that will really weigh heavy on his shoulders. As opposed to going to Bayern Munich, he'll retire as Harry Kane, 3-time Bundesliga champion, maybe a Champions League winner, who came really close to being the all-time English goal scoring record. Pretty damn good. He's put the team above his personal stats. I respect it for him. I think ideally he would have stayed in England, but the clubs that can win championships are Man City, and that window closed, 2 years ago now, when Spurs wouldn't sell. Man United can't really afford him, and besides, they're not going to win this year anyway. Nope. Arsenal could win, but there's no way a Spurs player is going to Arsenal. Same with Chelsea, another London team. So his options are small. So he had a choice. Stay with Spurs, hope for the best, or go overseas and win a trophy. And I think he's chosen probably the one team, with respect to Barcelona now, but the one team that can guarantee him trophies.
He doesn't want. PSG was involved, but it looks like he doesn't want to play in France.
He wants a proper league.
He doesn't want to play in the Farmers League.
I mean, I still can't believe that Real Madrid haven't sorted this out. And that makes me think that Mbappe, there's still something going on there, because he is the perfect replacement for Benzema. And that's exactly what Real Madrid need. And also Real Madrid can guarantee him trophies.
That's a good point.
But I also heard that maybe the adjustment of moving to Spain from England, Germany's not as much of a shift. But James, I don't know about you, but Daniel Levy, can you please just make up your mind? Because I'm tired. I'm exhausted.
It's Daniel Levy. He just doesn't.
Harry Kane and Kylian Mbappe, these two are every day you're waking up and you're just going through.
Every year there's one or two superstars. It was Messi 2 years ago.
It was Messi. That one was pain.
The Beckham one was the worst because it began in the January of the year.
Yeah.
He didn't move till July.
Yeah.
It was just like, oh, please get it over and done with. It's torturous.
Same thing about Ronaldo when he left for Real
Ronaldo.
Madrid.
Same thing.
Oh my God, yeah. Man City. Just kidding. Man United.
Well, even the first time he left United, it was a foregone conclusion at the end of the season he was going to go to Real Madrid.
It's such a circus with the summer transfer window. And you said, that the season doesn't start for Spurs until the 13th.
Which is 9 days from now.
The window doesn't close until the 31st. So, I mean, no, it happens.
I know, I understand it happens, but do you think that if I'm Harry Kane, I want to start the season with Spurs and then move?
It might not be up to
but
him.
it's not his choice, though,
It's
right?
not his choice, but I would think that's why Bayern put this this deadline in place, because they want something to start up right away.
Oh yeah, for sure. When their season starts in 2 weeks' time, right?
Yeah, they have a bit more time.
They want to get him in now, bet him in, and also put a pressure on Levy. Listen, we're paying you 87 million. With add-ons, it could be over 100 million.
Yeah,
right?
for sure.
Kane has told Spurs, I will not sign a contract with you. So either you sign this deal now or you walk. That being said, if they're close, but the deal's not done by midnight, do you really think Bayern Munich's walking away from this?
We're just going to keep on going. There's no one. And they had an issue with no Lewandowski, right, last year. So they need someone. They need someone.
Osimhen's one option, I suppose, but a lot of Saudi connections there right now as well.
Yeah.
I think it's done. He'll be in Germany for this season, and then Spurs have a month or so to figure out how to spend that money, because right now,
do they go after a guy like Jonathan David, where we talked about earlier, where it's been very quiet on his transfer window talks, and apparently he's going to spend another season in France, where it seems the last couple of years it's been a foregone conclusion that he was supposed to make the leap to a bigger club. We've heard Juventus involved, we've heard a bunch of Premier League teams involved. He hasn't made that jump yet. That could be because of a poor World Cup showing that he had. But now with all this extra money that Tottenham could have, would they finally take the leap at David to fill that role that Harry Kane's left?
Imagine filling your Harry Kane hole with Jonathan David.
That's a good point.
That's
it wouldn't be. It'd be a part of the whole, right?
It'd be a small.
The first part. But listen, Jonathan David's a good player.
Yes.
And when he came back from the World Cup, he had a very, very good end of the season with Lille. Scored a lot of goals. He's class. He's quality. Is he Harry Kane? No, of course not. Is he going to cost them £85 million? No, he might cost them 30 or 40 million. Maybe 50, as much as that.
Yeah.
And I can see it. But I think Fonseca, the coach, came out today and said, listen, right now he's going to play out of the year with. I think he's trying to stir some interest.
Sure.
Listen, there's been no big bids coming in for this guy. Come and get him. Because John David said last year, his agent did, this will be his last year in France. It's time to move on. And it is time to move on.
It is. But going back to Harry Kane, like to break the all-time Premier League goal scoring record as an English-born player, that's something, right? And I think like you can go to, again, I'm not poo-pooing on the Bundesliga or whatever, but if you're not winning the Prem or the Liga or one of these major or Serie A,
that's the thing. Harry Kane does not have any trophy. How about this, Justin? He leaves to go to Bayern Munich. Let's say they don't somehow. Bayern doesn't win any trophies. Impossible because they're obviously going to win the Bundesliga until the end of time. But put that aside. He still has a chance with England to win maybe the next Euros, right?
He can still do that with Tottenham.
He can, but I'm just saying, like, Harry Kane is still going to be remembered for Harry Kane, and I think it is more important that he starts winning trophies because he just so deserves to win a trophy, whether it's for a club or for the country. But imagine he ends up winning the Euros with England. No one's going to be talking about the fact that he didn't break the record.
What's more chance winning a trophy with Spurs or with England?
I can't answer that question. That is between a rock and a hard place.
England's going to win the next Euro.
England's got a way better chance.
England looks way better for sure. I mean, they have some weird juju around them, but yeah, they definitely look way better. They're actually like competitors. Tottenham, I mean, especially without Harry Kane. With Harry Kane, they finished 7th?
Yeah.
No Harry Kane? Oof.
And don't dismiss Germany in the Bundesliga, right? It's a top league.
It is.
And living in Bavaria is a really great place to live if you're a very rich footballer, right? The country just breathes football, breathes soccer. And there's pretzels and there's beer, like Sugar Sean there tells us. But yeah, I mean, you win the Bundesliga, that's a legitimate trophy.
Yeah.
And you might even win the Champions League.
Yeah.
As well.
Again, if I'm Harry Kane, breaking the all-time Premier League record.
Because that's who you are. You want to be the individual that wins anything. You don't care about the team. We know this. I feel like every time you answer a question like this, I can always.
Shearer is still criticised of winning just the one Premier League title. He's still saying, why did he go to Newcastle when he could have gone to Manchester? To this day, people question that. It's ridiculous, right? He's the all-time leading scorer with a Premier League title, and he's still questioned. Harry Kane, 400 goals in England, 0 trophies. He'll be questioned his whole life.
We'll see what happens with this deadline once it comes and goes.